Hi everyone, this is Halak and welcome to another Java tutorial session. In this session I will be revisiting the constructor tutorial. There's two items that I want to share with you I think is important. So let's just get started. Okay, so if you recall from my last tutorial, I created a subclass which inherited from a superclass. And in the superclass I had two constructors. Okay, and we used this keyword to actually invoke other constructors in the superclass. Okay, all right. So now one of the things that we know from last class is that, well, in the keyword this, if we move it down, all right, Java wouldn't allow that because it says it has to be the first statement. Okay, so we have to move that back up. All right, and we also said that super, all right, either implicitly or explicitly is called, all right, and if we move it down, all right, for example here, it also complains and says that it has to be the first statement in the constructor body. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering, can we do something like this? All right, the answer is no. Okay, you can't do that. Okay, it says that it has to be the first. See, so you can't do it, right? It complains either way. All right, which also makes sense because if you're going to inherit from a superclass, right, the superclass should have done most of the heavy lifting for you, and when you're inheriting, you're just adding some additional touches of your own. Okay. Now the other item is that should we invoke an instance method from the constructor? And the answer is no. Right, you shouldn't do that, and you should avoid it. If you recall, a constructor, there's two purposes for a constructor: to create the new object, and the other reason is to initialize the object before it's actually used. Okay. Now, if you actually do something like this, okay, you may run into problems because you're trying to use useful method may actually require that the object be properly initialized before it's actually invoked, right? So what's happening here is you recall when I ran this, you notice that super R class, this gets called first, all right? So because of the keyword this, so this gets called, and then now we're running this instance method. Okay, we're running it before it even returns. What would happen if we had to do, you know, some other initialization here, right? Initialization required before instance can be used, right? I mean, you know, so because remember the way it's called is that when we actually invoked from here, right? We went to here, okay? We invoked that, and it went to the noarg constructor, which invoked this. Okay, now it's initializing these two variables, right, instance variables, and then the method is actually being used. However, if this is already running, before what it's trying to do, what if it's computing something, but then it requires these other additional initialization to be complete before you should be used, right? Because if you look at the sequence of calls, it goes to the toArg, which is in here, right? And then useful method would be executing. And then you return to this, but then these other initialization is not done yet. All right, so so you should avoid it. Okay, don't call instance methods in your constructor unless you absolutely have to. Okay, for some special pre-processing reason. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this very short tutorial, and hope to see you again next time. Take care. Bye.